Alright everyone, welcome back to another good or bad. This is a review style video where I tell you if a game is good or if it's bad and give you my rating at the end. This will contain 0 spoilers. I was giving a very rare opportunity to play the new God of War title, and because of that I am now able to make this good or bad, which I am very grateful and thankful for. First off, guys, the new God of War takes the whole series and jumps, okay? It leaps into something completely new. From the combat, the story, the way the game plays, and even feels. The game feels new. It does not, it feels, you know it's God of War, but it is not God of War, if that's the best way I can really describe it. It has elements of Kratos, it has elements of the world, without giving the old God of War, I guess the right way to say this, it's a new game around Kratos, around what he is, and they are rebuilding everything about the series, and they did rebuild it in some big ways. The biggest thing that I've seen so far in the new God of War that is a massive improvement: the combat. The combat was just a hack and slash before. Now in this new God of War, it is truly, it feels real. It feels like you are wielding this axe. You are just swinging it. You are just, it feels meaningful. In game design, meaningful means something that it feels right to use. It feels like it should be there. It doesn't just feel like, okay, I'm just swinging my weapons around, which is, you know, it was fun in the previous God of Wars, but it was just a hack and slash with a great story. This new combat feels natural. It feels clean. It feels like it belonged in the series, and now they finally just put it in. There is no jumping. It's all on ground. You do have the occasional gaps on the path where you can jump and whatnot. But this new change where you can't really jump, the camera angle is now at more of an angle and more to the right of the character, where it just gives the combat, the movement, the control over Kratos so much more meaning, and it is a great change, guys. I'm just gonna be very honest with you. It feels like it feels like God of War. It's weird to describe it, but it does. The combat is amazing. I'm just gonna be blunt with you. The movement system has been improved. The camera system has been improved. Those 3 things I said is truly what makes a video game a game. Any game is the camera, movement, and combat. You can have the graphics, the story, whatnot, which I will talk about. But without those 3 things, the controller, the player, the game just doesn't feel alive. If it's messed up in some way, you know, it's just, it won't feel good. It won't feel right. In the new God of War, they really did a good job. You can tell these are some pros building some pro-like mechanics. So that is one of the biggest changes, in my personal opinion, that really means a lot. The next thing I want to talk about is the story itself. Kratos, without spoiling anything, just to be honest, I'm not going to spoil anything, I'm just going to give you the best way to tell you without spoiling any of the story. The Kratos, he is still Kratos. He's still him on the inside, but a lot has happened and a lot has changed him. And the way the story progresses, the way you and your son, from the trailers, you know you have a son, the way you and your son traverse this world, it's you can see that there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of things happening. If you play through the God of War series, you can get glimpses of it. And in the new God of War, you can finally see that growth. You can see that change that happened in Kratos as the story progresses. You can get hints of who Kratos is as the God of War with a very clear tone over the whole experience of probably who he was before he got turned into the God of War. So it was a great experience, the story, where it does just, it's good. Okay, it really is good. I'm not going to spoil anything else, guys, but they did a good job. It's probably one of the better and the best ways that I've seen a story in a series do this. I've never seen a series do this, to be honest. Most series, they just keep releasing titles, you know, without growth, without change. They changed the character, the main character, and showed him evolving. And in the new God of War, he really is Kratos. I keep going back to this from what I said earlier, where it feels like how the game should always have felt. The same for this. They, in the first 3 God of Wars for the main games, and then the smaller ones, you know, there's always this growth. And finally, we are getting who Kratos is. And it is a really cool journey. The next thing I want to talk about is the world. This game is not 100% open world. It is not like an RPG, but it is open. There are many things you can do. You can miss a lot of things in this game. Without exploring, without venturing into this world, you will miss big things like weapons, armors, upgrades. You will miss all of these things if you do not venture out. You can just stick on the path, but it's very cool how they do it. It is linear with a branching system. You can beat the game and still do so much. That is what makes this God of War very unique, where it gives you the what is the right word? The decision. If you want to do this, if you want to explore, you can do that. And if you explore, you will be rewarded for it. And it's not like one path or 2 paths. I mean many branches of this tree that they've built that really gives this world, the level, the endless flow from start to finish life. And I am very impressed by it. As a game designer myself, I'm trying to learn how to do this in level design and game design, and they've done a great job. It's still remarkable in some ways how well they've done it. And it's teaching me as well. When I start building games or making games, this is something that I want to keep in mind when I'm doing so. It is a very cool feature that I believe a lot of old fans and new fans will enjoy greatly, because it just gives that extra depth into God of War. One last thing I want to talk about, guys, is the camera, is the game itself. This whole thing, there is not one cut. No matter what you are doing from start to finish, the camera is always on. It doesn't cut, fade to black, nothing like that. If you're in a cutscene, it doesn't cut to the other guy. The camera moves to the other person, or it moves back. In these very heated moments, the camera is just always on. It was crazy, to be honest. I've never played a game like that. And playing this God of War, I'm like, wow. To be honest, I'm really just still impressed and wowed by this, because you might say, well, it's cool, you know, the camera's always on, but what else is there? guys, it's not like a game anymore. When it's at this point where the camera is just heated in every moment. There's never a cut from start to the end. There's never nothing between combat, between when you're just roaming around, collecting things. It's always on. And the way they did it, I still don't know. I wish I could go talk to the devs and be like, hey, how did you do this? Teach me, because I want to do it. It is a very cool thing that they've done. And it elevates the experience tenfold. It really and truly does. Besides that, the graphics, guys, probably one of the best looking games probably the best looking game. There's only a few games that looks this good. I'm just being honest. Only a few games out looks this crisp, this clean, and just this interactive. It is truly a great experience, guys. I can keep going on about this game and talk about everything, but I just want to talk about the main points that I wanted to discuss, that I wanted to say in this series, or this video, I mean. Other than that, guys, to be very honest with you, when I was playing the game, I was trying to figure out, is there something bad here? Is there something bad here? Is there something, anything bad at all? I couldn't find anything. And I'm not just saying that. I mean it. I couldn't find any bad. It was just fun. It was just a very well-crafted game. And I haven't been able to say that recently a lot, but the guys over there at Santa Monica, they did a good job. They did an amazing job of changing this series so drastically. It feels like it should always have been in every God of War. It feels like God of War now. It is a weird thing to say, but when you play this game for yourself, you will see what I'm talking about. It just feels right and natural for Kratos and the God of War games. Other than that, guys, I will give this game a 10 out of 10. That is my final rating. This is a perfect score. I couldn't find anything bad with the game. I couldn't. I looked heavily for it. But when there's just nothing there. It just runs. The combat is always smooth. The story is amazing. The graphics, the scenes, the emotions. One thing about games, guys, like this, the emotional response. It does a good job. So just get ready for that. But everyone, 10 out of 10. Hopefully you enjoyed this very, very rare and special good or bad. If you did, drop a like down below, subscribe. I will be doing a lot of content for this game. There's a ton of things in it, and I cannot wait to show you them and really experience this game together. And as always, guys, drop a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.